They want to hear from the mayor. If y'all ain't learned that yet. The mayor, not the trustees that don't do nothing, that only run their mouth. Y'all don't do no work, no work. Y'all forget I am the leader.
Hide the money, y'all. There's poor people around. With your broke ass.
Every election. So now, because they can't beat me, they got to do this smear campaign to convince public opinion that I'm bad for them.
So you said 2 elections. You were first elected in 2021?
No, 2013 was my first election for trustee. I was a trustee. I sat where they are.
Right.
That's why I know the law.
Council.
Yes.
Elected mayor 2021.
Yes.
Terms 4 years?
Yes.
Okay. Plans of running for re-election?
I'm running for both my seats. And I'm going to win them.
So, and when is the election for Thornton Township?
2025.
So those elections at the same time?
They are.
Bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit.
Okay, next.
A bullshit. A bullshit.
I could not be here breathing and be comfortable if I was really as bad as they was making it. You know, nobody could be around me. So for me to be this calm, I must have some kind of inner peace. And my inner peace is knowing that once everybody take the time to really see what type of person I am, you'd be surprised that I stuck around this long.
I have to make the life that I do live as happy as I can and try to do the best with what I have. You know, live the best life I can live, be as happy as I can be. Nothing is perfect for anybody. I don't.
Bulls, I swear, I think it's fair that. You know why? They don't want us redneck brothers and sisters and the hood brothers and sisters getting along. You know why? Because we be unstoppable. I'm telling you right now, we ain't gonna shut shit down.
Yes, yes, yes. You already know what we will do. We will shut shit down. Blessings, blessings, Uncensored Enlightenment Talk. Family, you're here with Grace Levi, and you already know we have an action-packed evening. Yes, I have a good lineup for you. Now, just giving you a heads up, I have an idea who's going to be going. So anytime you send me anything, please don't send me another content creator stuff unless they have the facts. Show me the paperwork, and I will show it to the people out there. I love you guys. That's my stance, and I got to stick by it. I have to have my own morals and my own way of doing things in this fight because I can't be compromised, and I can't be bought, and I can't be sold, and I can't be controlled. So welcome to the Levi family. All right, so this is going to be the last part of this. You know what we do. We cut up these sections so you can focus in. I really think that this case is going to be going nowhere. It actually needs to be dropped at this point, okay? Because I don't think that the trustees will be missing any more meetings. The Thornton trustees also highlighting that this lawsuit seems to be frivolous because according to what I know that they can't miss 5 consecutive board meetings, and they did not miss 5 consecutive board meetings. So that's the highlight of this topic. Please hit the like button. We're moving on. That was amazing. At least, now, if it was drama felt, we would have been so hyped up because we so used to the drama. But thank God it wasn't. Thank God it was nice and smooth. People can leave there, go have dinner, celebrate, bowl, do whatever. I have to say congratulations to my my favorite resident. Congratulations, y'all. You did a great job. Send her a loving congratulations. All right, so let's get to this case, okay? This case was filed by Tiffany Henyard versus Christopher Gonzalez and Carmen Cariss, okay? Now, this was filed 1/10/2025, about 11 days ago. A waste. That's why we got to get this person out of here. She is just ridiculous. So basically, it is a mandamus, and the mandamus is just basically a lawsuit to compel for somebody to do or don't. Either you do it or you get out. That's what a mandamus is set up for, this type of motion. So the background facts, okay, we're going to get to it. The applicable law that they're saying is this complaint is, let's talk about the applicable law. This complaint is brought under the authority or provisions of the Illinois Code Civil Procedures 735 ILCS in Illinois Township Code 60 ILCS 1/1-1. So we did go into that, and I was trying to figure out what was their angle, and they picked a certain section out of this particular municipality code that highlights that the trustees and the supervisor have to basically pay for an audit within 30 to 60 days, something to that nature. They didn't actually reference the part where it was kind of saying that the trustees or supervisor cannot miss 5 consecutive meetings, because I think that will highlight some of the things that Tiffany do. You see what I'm saying? So as provided in the Illinois Town Code 60 ILCS, the Township Board or Township Officers of Thornton Township, Cook County, Illinois, consist of 1 Township Supervisor and 4 Trustees. The Township Boards are either appointed or elected at large to serve a specific term in office. Tiffany Henyard, appointed March 3rd, 2022, is the current supervisor for Thornton Township. They talk about Darlene Everett. We're going to do a little deep dive on her because she's a boss, allegedly, on the school board. Christopher Gonzalez, he was elected April 2021. Carmen Cariss, she was May 31st, 2023. And Gerald Jones was April 20th, 2021, for a 4-year term. Thus, the current Township Board of Thornton Township consists of supervisor, 3 trustees named that we just talked about, and the Illinois law they reference. All right, so now it says the Illinois Township Code 60 ILCS provides that the Township Board shall, at the same time and place stated in Section 80-10, examine the accounts, examine and audit, charge and claim, and compensation. So they're referencing this particular code in the guise that this action was done and that the trustees are in violation because they didn't move forth to get these certain particular audit paid for. This is why they're referencing this. The Illinois Town Code 60 ILCS provides inter-account audit, because this is what it's talking about, shall be paid by the supervisor within 20 days. So that is a correction of what I said. I was kind of thinking off the top of my head, but 20 days after it's presented. And I think it's no later than 60. Now, thus meeting of the Township Board or the Township are mandated by the Illinois Township Code and are absolutely essential, crucial, and necessary to the smooth running of the day-to-day operations of Thornton Township, even up to and including the management of compensation of staff and employees, and must importantly to the smooth, uninterrupted flow of the vital and essential services of Thornton Township provided to its residents, including senior services. So the thing that they're pulling up is the audit, and it's being presented to the supervisor, and her having 20 days till 60, I believe till 60, don't call me to the 60, to pay for this. So they're trying to say that the trustee's actions is putting Henyard at a liability to not do her job, in which everything Henyard does is a liability to her because she's not doing her job. All right. So meetings of the Thornton Township Board of Thornton Township regularly scheduled for every second and fourth Tuesday of every month at 6 p.m. In addition, any other meetings, special meetings that may be called pursuant to the provision of 60 ILCS 1/80-10B. However, the Township Board and Thornton Township have not been able to meet to conduct the business of Thornton Township since October 2024 to the present, and the relevant time due to lack of quorum of the Township Board. All scheduled meetings at all the relevant times. So they're saying all of these meetings are all relevant. They're trying to just incorporate them all. But if you remember, we had read a fact check from Lansing that highlighted the different board meetings, the date, the time, and what type of board meetings there was. We can get to them. And there was only about 1, 2, 3, 4 regular board meetings that took place from October to January. So they're still in the clear, and it wasn't consecutive. So count 1, Mandamus action versus defendant Christopher. So they're going to do it separately for each. Let's see what they got to say. So plaintiff Tiffany Henyard, in her capacity as the supervisor of Thornton Township, reinstates basically what we read from in the first paragraph 1 through 18. At all relevant times, defendant Christopher Gonzalez was and still is duly elected trustee and member of the Township Board of Thornton Township, Cook County, State, Illinois. By virtue of his election and membership of the Township Board for Thornton Township, defendant Christopher Gonzalez has the legal duty and obligation to prescribe and vest by the provision of the Illinois Township Code and to fully and faithfully discharge such duties and obligations according to the law. The regular meeting of the Township Board for Thornton Township was scheduled to be held October 8th, 2024 at 6 p.m. Now I think they're about to be calling out each one of their actions on what they did. Let's listen to this. Because y'all remember Chris walked off like a pimp. He was scared that first day, but he was like, I gotta get out of here. I'm by myself. So defendant Christopher deliberately, intentionally, and purposely failed to refuse to attend the regular meeting scheduled for Tuesday, October 8th, 2024. A regular meeting of the Township Board for Thornton Township was scheduled to be held October 22nd at 6 p.m. Defendant Christopher Gonzalez deliberately, intentionally, and purposely failed and refused to attend the regular meeting scheduled for October 22nd. A special meeting of the Township Board of Thornton was scheduled on the Wednesday of October 30th. You remember they were just having them back to back. She was trying to catch them up. And that's what I was saying. I was like, what is she trying to do? Keep calling these meetings with these gross agendas. Credit cards, bank accounts. No, we're not doing this. So defendant Christopher Gonzalez deliberately, intentionally, and purposefully failed to refuse to attend the special meeting scheduled for October 30th. The regular meeting of the Township Board of Thornton Township is scheduled to be held on November 19th. So that's a regular meeting, 2024 at 6 p.m. The defendant Christopher Gonzalez deliberately attended. He keep repeating the same thing. This is like a cookie cutter. We're going to keep reading it. Deliberately, intentionally, and purposely failed to refuse to attend the regular meeting scheduled for November 19th. I can't wait till he gets to the one that said he walked off like a pimp. A special meeting of the Township Board of Thornton Township was scheduled to be held Monday, November 25th, 2024. Defendant Christopher Gonzalez deliberately, intentionally, and purposely failed and refused to attend the special meeting scheduled for Monday, November 25th. A special meeting of Township Board of Thornton Township was scheduled for December 5th. Christopher Gonzalez deliberately, intentionally, and purposely failed to refuse to attend the special meeting. He didn't miss that many meetings now. Come on. Now, I don't believe this. We're going to have to fact check this. That's a lot of meetings. Chris was there. Now, if y'all talking about Carmen, now that's different. This is a little weird. All right. So a special meeting, Township Board in Thornton Township was scheduled to be held on Tuesday, December 17th. Christopher Gonzalez refused to attend the special meeting scheduled for Tuesday, December 17th. I want to get to the one that he walked out. All right. Again, the one was scheduled for December 30th at 6 p.m. I'm going to kind of summarize it because they keep saying the same thing. Chris Gonzalez deliberately, intentionally, and purposely failed to refuse to attend that meeting on December 30th. Christopher Gonzalez deliberately, intentionally, and purposely failed to refuse to attend all of the above meetings, caused a lack of quorum. This is a lie. First and foremost, he walked out of 2 of them. Y'all didn't even mention the pimp juice. Y'all didn't even mention he walked up out of there. Y'all didn't even mention the time where he was confronted by people before this started to really happen. Right after Jones left, that they ran up in his face and that he could have filed something and be fearing for his life. Y'all ain't never mentioned that, where his daughter had to pop up on them. Now, it says defendant Cariss Gonzalez had made several public comments and gave several interviews to media acknowledging his failures and refusal to attend the scheduled meetings were deliberate, intentional, and purposeful. See here. Why that's not a hyperlink? You know, I'm trying to click it. Defendant Christopher Gonzalez had publicly declared that he will not be attending any more meetings of the Thornton Township of the Township Board for Thornton Township meeting. Put a link here, but we can't get to it. Thus, defendant Christopher Gonzalez have failed and refused and will continue to fail and refuse to fulfill and discharge his legal duties and obligation as vested upon him by the law and by the virtue of his election to the office of trustees of Thornton Township. Christopher Gonzalez failure to refuse and continue, failure and refusal to fully, faithfully discharge his legal duties and obligations as vested upon him by law, by virtue of his election. Why did you write this again? Who filed this shit? Excuse my language. First, you cookie cutted the sentence over and over and over, and then you just literally said the same thing. Oh, Solomon, did you do this? I'm not even going to get to the bottom of the page. We halfway there, y'all. We on page 8 already. I told you it wasn't going to be too bad. I read pretty fast with my dyslexic self. I'm just keeping it real. I think Solomon did it. I'm taking a guess because this is ridiculous. All right. And he must be mad at Cariss because he spent half of this time talking about Christopher Gonzalez. So as a result, Christopher Gonzalez failure and refusal and continued failure and refusal to fully, faithfully, this is the same statement, to discharge his legal duty or obligation as vested. I am going to smack whoever wrote this. Let's move forward because I'm a little annoyed because they keep cookie cuttering this. Let me just read this because all he did was just copy and paste and added a little bit more to this. As a result, Christopher Gonzalez failure and refusal to continue failure in refusal to fully, faithfully discharge his legal duties and obligation as vested upon him by law and virtue by his election of the office of trustees of Thornton Township, the resident, now this is where he added the extra statement, the residents of Thornton Township and the beneficiaries of the services provided by Thornton Township have suffered and are continuing to suffer hardship and inconvenience, including residents with serious medical conditions who depend on the transportation service offered by the township, the Thornton Township. And this is where the attorneys for Cariss and Carmen should pull out all the pictures of the bus still rolling, never stopping. So what are you saying? We have proof that it didn't enable nothing. You just kept on rolling. And the police just looked the other way like, well, we don't see no big Thornton bus over here. And they over there talking about they ain't got insurance on the news. Nope. We don't see this. Oh, this got to be Solomon. Because again, he made this full statement again that I read 1,000 times. And then he added okay, now let me just read this full statement again because it's getting on my nerve. As a result of Christopher Gonzalez's failure and refusal and continued failure and refusal to fully and faithfully discharge his legal duties and obligation as vested upon him by the law and by virtue of his election to the office of trustee township, whoever is your secretary should be telling you you shouldn't be putting this continuously in your damn filing. We heard you. You can't make us believe it by putting it over and over and over. Okay? No, we don't do subliminal messages through filings. It's not going to work. All of the insurance policies of several properties, including buildings and vehicles of Thornton Township, have lapsed, resulting in a total shutdown of the building and cessation of transportation service provided by Thornton Township. See here, which is a daggone lie, because the buses are still rolling. So, therefore, Plaintiff Tiffany Henyard, in her capacity as supervisor of Township, respectfully praise that the honorable court, she's trying to butter him up, the honorable court entered a judgment granting and issuing mandamus, directing and commanded defendant Christopher Gonzalez to attend any of all of the regular or special meeting, including any emergency meeting of the Township Board or Thornton Township that may be called or scheduled according to the law for the purpose of participating in the conduct of Thornton Township business. Fully and faithfully discharge his legal duties and obligation as vested in by law and by virtue of his election to the office of trustee of Thornton Township. He just flipped that sentence up and just closed it off. Ooh, this better not be Solomon. Now, this is when they get after Carmen Cariss. Okay? Mandamus action. So they're trying to compel her to do something as well. Plaintiff Tiffany Henyard, in her capacity, again, we're going to restate paragraphs 1 through 18. All of the relevant times, defendant Carmen was and still is dual appointed trustee member of Township Board trustee, Cook County, state of Illinois. Now, I want to know if he's going to say something different, because if they keep repeating this same old line with the different dates, then I'm aggravated. Tiffany is, we already know she's a waste of time, a waste of money, and she better rescind this lawsuit. Not today, but yesterday. Thornton Township residents should go after Tiffany and go after this lawyer, because I didn't even read it, but all I know, I know he copied and pasted the same thing he just said about Gonzalez 5-10 times. He's going to say this about Carmen. They need to petition that Henyard rescind all of these frivolous cases that she knows she doesn't have time to win. Period. I'm just going to read the first two, because basically they're the same thing. This is trifling. Again, the defendant Carmen deliberately, intentionally, and purposely failed and refused to attend the regular meeting scheduled October 8th. The same statement, she refused to attend October 22nd. The same statement, she refused to attend October 30th. The same statement, she refused to attend November 19th. They continue on to November 25th, December 5th, as well as December 17th. They don't give any reason. They don't give any, they don't say that she's going out. Let me see if they say the same thing. Yes, they basically, the same thing that they said about Gonzalez, him making comments and failure to come and go on interviews. They said the same thing about Carmen. It is also, defendant Carmen has publicly declared that she would not attend any meetings of the Thornton Township C. And I don't remember Carmen ever saying that, because Carmen don't make a lot of statements. So I really think that that's a lie. So this is to compel her to do her job. Now, this is all they have. And I freaking knew it. Mr. Solomon, the damn fool. The damn fool. Now, residents, that's why I read it, because I knew it wasn't going to take that long. And I did not know that they literally cookie cuttered this stupid lawsuit. I hate to read lawsuits that's like this. It's a waste of time, a waste of energy. It has no pizzazz to it. It has no And right now we know that Tiffany is using this to waste the township money. So my advice to you guys is to petition for Tiffany to take back all of these frivolous lawsuits that she had filed at the last minute against the trustees of Thornton. I mean, if y'all want to go after her for the lawsuit that she filed against Dots, y'all could do that too. But you know, I'm not really down for that. But do what y'all got to do. But these extra lawsuits that she's been filing, oh, hell no. Anything after the new year is a wrap. It's a done deal. Tiffany should not be filing any lawsuits. Period. She's out of there. Thornton, y'all did y'all thing today. You did an excellent job. We have Stephanie in the building. They tried it so hard. They tried it. It wasn't even a best attempt. It was like barely an attempt that they did with Carol. But they did it lawfully. Tiffany didn't come in there running her big ass mouth, acting crazy. Nobody was yelling. I thought the crowd was going to get in trouble for yelling. That's why I was like, shh. Because all y'all got to do is do this. I know y'all was excited. Y'all had the room. But I'm glad that they didn't act petty and go with the rules, because y'all was interrupting the proceedings. But you did great. Okay, Thornton? I know I want to be a killjoy. Because I was just like, shit, don't get hold in contempt. They're going to lock everybody up. I'm just playing. All right. Now, let me get to the comments at the end. Stephanie Wiedemann just got voted in. Yes, we watched that. Sir, you wasn't here. Wherever you was at watching, and you can hit it on replay. I'm going to edit up this video so it don't be long as all hell. That section right there, I'm going to take out a lot of the buffer. And then, you know, I'm going to break this up into 3 sections. The first section is going to highlight who is Carol Cook. We don't need to follow up on her at all. But we do know that she is part of Thornton Township elected official body of people who are playing, what is it? What is it? I was about to say Ring Around the Rosie, but they playing they already are switching seats around. So she is actually, as what we found out, and we may want to keep our eye on that, guys. East Hazel Crescent. That's where she's from. Carol Crook. And that is a lady that is connected to Henyard. We don't have much to hear from Henyard. I don't think so. I think these next 3 months, I think we got it in the bag now. Since this happened and Dalton is under control, now it's time to clean up the mess. I can't wait for the next Thornton Township meeting. It is going to be on and popping. I am with you. I am with you, Miss Holyfield. It's going to be good. You think Tiffany going to show up? Because I think she's scared of Wiedemann. I think she's scared of Stephanie. You saw Stephanie look like she a little big brolic. Stephanie walked like she could box. I ain't saying she, but Tiffany, we read the lawsuit. It was ridiculous how she went after Wiedemann. She went after her just for breathing. Okay? Mr. Poland, yes, because now she's not going to be able to get her way. Lock. Tiffany like this. This Thornton, this Dalton. Thornton, Dalton. Now we just waiting for the feds to come. Think. Come on, let's go. Now, I didn't get to the end of the lawsuit because I wanted to just be a surprise, but it sounded like something that Max would do, Solomon would do. And we're going to go over what happened to Solomon at that last meeting where he filed the frivolous lawsuit against the Park District. I know that there's a recording that's out there. We're going to be getting our own version, and we're going to be doing something a little different because that is not completed yet. So we want to hear how Solomon got his ass in trouble, how almost all of them got fined, because I'm not sure if they all got fined, but that's what the judge was talking about. And that's what I mentioned a few lives ago. I said, these fucking judges, they're tired of Tiffany. They're tired of this. They came across a reasonable judge in that last case. Solomon got his ass ate. He already had to concede or pull a case and refile it. because he just went with whatever his client said before when it came to Tiffany versus Dot, and then putting Fitzpatrick on there. Fitzpatrick said, hell to the no. Property, guys. It's called gentrification, and I ain't letting it happen. Hit the like button. I will see you guys on Thursday.
Would you like to learn a brand new and innovative way to invest your extra money that has a low barrier to entry and low competition? What if I told you that it is a guaranteed method to get up to 18 to 20% return on your investment? Tax lien and deed purchasing is the only way to get into the real estate market through the back door. No credit and no loans needed. This method isn't commonly taught, and therefore the competition is very low, for now. Put together a 14-hour info-packed course which will teach you everything you'll need to know to get started. Learn at your own pace, step-by-step guided video and aids to start you on the TLC deed investment process. The course offers many learning tools for new investors, helping ensure you safely invest in tax liens and deeds. Contact us today and join the buyback team.
Every election. So now, because they can't beat me, they got to do this smear campaign to convince public opinion that I'm bad for them.
So you said 2 elections. You were first elected in 2021?
No, 2013 was my first election for trustee. I was a trustee. I sat where they are.
Right.
That's why I know the law.
Council.
Yes.
Elected mayor 2021.
Yes.
Terms 4 years?
Yes.
Okay. Plans of running for re-election?
I'm running for both my seats. And I'm going to win them.
So, and when is the election for Thornton Township?
2025.
So those elections at the same time?
They are.
Bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit.
Hide the money, y'all. There's poor people around. With your broke ass.
Why are you detaining me? You about to lose your job. You about to lose your job. Get this dance. You about to lose your job because you are detaining me for nothing. You about to lose your job.